Root ingredients. Elder Black Light. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he didn't compromise. He didn't compromise. He called the Caucasian the devil, and he called for separation. So that means he don't want to assimilate. That means that he want to keep his identity. So he had the brothers and sisters change their names to African names. No, they say, no, Arab, that's Arab. And they the real Muslim. No. He said we are the original people of the planet Earth. So we're the first Muslims, and we invented language. And Arabia, the so-called Middle East and all like that, that's Africa. But the white man, he changes things. But see, y'all wouldn't know that because y'all don't study. And I showed y'all in the Bible, in the dictionary, where the word Islam is the only name or title or system that bows to the will of Allah. That's what the title says. One who submits to Allah, does the will of Allah, which is his commandments. Don't no other title or name like Christianity say that. It says a concept. Judaism is talking about a guy named Judah. It's not even talking about a religion. It's not. It's talking about a name which has no spirituality in it, but Islam does. So check this out.
Since we have already lived under segregation for the past centuries, now we would like to be separated and live over here to ourselves, since we cannot get along with you in peace.
Let me take you into another area that we discussed at the opening of the show, Mr. Muhammad. That is your prediction in the book, The Message to the Black Man, that the whites and the non-whites inevitably must come to a war. Do you really feel that there must be a war between the races?
If you will not submit to the law of justice, freedom, justice, and equality, and submit to do good, certainly.
Black man, that the whites and the non-whites inevitably must come to a war. Do you really feel that there must be a war between the races?
If you will not submit to the law of justice, freedom, justice, and equality, and submit to do good, certainly. This is the time that good confronts us to rule the people, and not evil. Your history teaches us that you have always warred. In Europe, there was once a 100-year war, a 30-year war, and they have continued a war.
See, so you see, he told a white man to his face. He wasn't biting his tongue, and told him, "What's up?" He told him, "What's up?" It's simple. And don't forget, history shows you that in Detroit, the police tried to move in on the Muslims, and the Muslims beat them up. In Detroit, Chicago, other places. So they left them alone. The Mafia even tried to move in on the Muslims. Muhammad Ali, he wasn't even afraid of the U.S. Army. And he won that battle because Allah shows and trying to tell y'all that Allah's on our side. So the brothers and sisters now, they putting on a show. They want to compromise. They want to assimilate into this wicked society. Who would want to live in a swamp full of snakes? You got to be out your mind.
Everybody knows police brutality exists. For police officers to take our time to waste the time of an entire nation talking about they never heard of police brutality, they don't know what black people are talking about, they can't prove it. We know in Detroit, anytime a black person is brutalized by the police, he goes into court and he's arrested for assault and battery. Now the basic issue is so simple and nobody will even touch it because you're afraid to touch it. You are deliberately trying to evade the issue. Everybody is trying.
Reverend Clegg, if you can hear me.
The thing is that in the United States we are engaged in a power struggle between black people and white people. You don't want to say it. You don't want to hear it said. You want to talk to somebody else. You got a nut sitting there someplace who says he's a police official who hasn't said one thing all night. There is a power struggle going on, and black people have decided they're not going to tolerate oppression any longer. Now, police brutality is a very deliberate thing. It's a part of American life. America has decided that black people are to be kept in subjection. It's an army of occupation that the white power structure keeps in the black ghetto. We know. Now, don't talk about how what is the incident, how it is. We know what it is.
Reverend Clegg, let me ask you a question.
Structure knows it. White people know it. Throughout America, white people know what white policemen are doing.
Let me ask you a question, Professor Reverend Clegg.
You know what it is. Everybody knows what it is. Now, black people are not going to permit police brutality to go on.
Reverend Clegg.
City in America.
Reverend Clegg.
We had in almost 100 cities race violence last summer. If police brutality continues, we'll have it in 200 cities next summer. Now, white people know that. Something has got to be done about it. We are wasting time. We are waiting. Let's come to the issue.
I can't seem to get Reverend Clegg's ear, and without seeming to seem irreverent or disrespectful, we're going to shift to Philadelphia, where the chief of police of Detroit is in the Philadelphia studio, Chief Passell. Can you add something to this dialogue, Mr. Parcell?
Yes,
You're the president, I believe, of the Detroit Police Officers Association. Are you on leave from your duties as chief?
I'm not the chief of police. I'm the head of the Police Officers Association.
I stand corrected. Please go ahead.
I'd certainly like to answer the Reverend Clegg. I think there's been many self-appointed leaders throughout the Negro community who have stated that they represent the Negro. And I think it's a proven fact that in these areas where they had a vote for police officers, and right in Watts, right after the riot there, they voted on a pension system for the Los Angeles police officers, and they collected 75% out of the Watts area. In Detroit, where there was over 600,000 Negroes, very few of these people participated in the riot. And I think that in the next week there's going to be a committee of Negro leaders, business leaders, stand up and make a statement, make a combined statement that no one speaks for them. Rat Brown don't speak for them, Reverend Clegg doesn't
Officer
speak for them.
Purcell, would you address yourself more specifically to the problem in Detroit rather than the problem elsewhere?
Yes, I think that the Reverend Clegg himself states that he speaks for the people of Detroit. I have to say that in Detroit, that there were over 600,000 Negroes in Detroit, and certainly they did not participate in any riots. Reverend Klieg has stated that the only thing that the riot proved was